corner, double team. Lebanon with a trap on Hall. He got to get it out of there. Stepped on the out of bounds line. Blue Devils had him trapped, and Hall got a foot on the out of bounds line. Turnover for the Bison, and the Blue Devils will take it away in the backcourt. Hamrick with it to the left side. Moving over the timeline to Christian. Christian, a little running 4-footer that won't go. Got his own rebound. Powers it back up. In and out. Won't go. Rebound Logue. He puts it up and in. Justin Lowe gets it back in there. Lebanon gets a hand on a pass. Christian up with it. A wild shot as the quarter ends. And the Blue Devils lead it after one, 24-13. Blue Devils 24, Station Camp 13. We're back after this 30-second timeout.
See, that's trying to knock it away.
Outside, Station Camp working. I think they went off the foot of Boyce, but we get the call, and they'll give it. They do call it. We'll give it to the Station Camp. I'll get turned around here in a moment.
I was going to say, I already have one of
with
those
the ball.
balls.
Brinkley. Double teamed outside, gets through the double team, powers it off in the corner. Here's a jumper out of the corner that won't go. Rebound, Station Camp on the other side won't go. Rebound snatched down by Andrew Donald, who's back in the ball game. Cross down low to Boyce. Boyce powers underneath. Good feed to Dixon, and he missed it. But it's powered back up and in by Donald. Station Camp wants time. Blue Devils all over the boards on that one. 2, 3, 4 shots at it before Donald finally gets it in. 26-13, 7:27 to play. Quarter two. We'll be back in 30. Well, we played a quarter and almost a minute, and the Blue Devils have doubled the score, 26-13. Station Camp with it in the backcourt. Brinkley double team. Had it slapped out of bounds by Vern Dawkins. It'll belong to Station Camp in front of their bench across the way. The Blue Devils trying to put the pressure on. Ball club's a little ragged here in the openers, as was the girls' game in their opener.
It's early.
It's early. Here's a running jumper down low that won't go. Dixon off of the rebound to Dawkins on the left wing. Cross. Bounce pass underneath, trying to go for Donald. Had it kicked under there.
Good hands by T.J. Bates.
Well, it was.
Or good knee or whatever it was. It got it.
Kuntz slapped it out of bounds. Here's Boyce. Fadeaway 12-footer. Good. Boyce hits a fadeaway jumper on the baseline. And it's 28-13.
Lebanon's first points of the second quarter.
And they're going to throw it away in the backcourt. The pass by Bates was behind Smith, who's in the ball game, and it goes out of bounds. Lebanon will play it in. Here's Dawkins with it out front between the rings. Down low left side to Cross. Cross, pass to Donald. Hot one under there, but it was touched last by Station Camp. Smith got a hand on it before it goes out of bounds. Here's Boyce, turnaround 12-footer, good. Boyce again hits on the baseline, 30-13.
That's his 9th point of the game so far, Clyde.
Well, he's the horse for this ball club, no doubt about it. He's got to have a big year. Working on the baseline as Josh Jones gets it across the way, driving along the baseline, and a charge going to be
Number
called
20.
on Bates.
Yep.
Donald had him set up underneath really well, and Bates.
His first foul of the game, Clyde.
And the team's second foul of the game. 30-13, Lebanon leading, and here come the Blue Devils on the attack. Dixon over the timeline, cuts in at the free throw line, stops, pops underneath to Donald for the easy one. Dixon had a pretty good shot, gave it up to Donald for a better one.
Donald's 4th point of the quarter, 4th point of the game.
Dawkins on the arm, going to be called for the foul, and that will send, well, it'll be an out-of-bounds foul. Josh Jones was on the receiving end of that Vern Dawkins foul. Smith, inbounds play to Bates. Bates moving it down in position, gets it over on the right side to Coons. And here's a fadeaway left-handed jumper that goes in and out. Rebound underneath. Donald powers it away.
Lebanon gets the...
But it was a jump ball, and the Blue Devils will have it by way of the possession arrow.
And it will switch sides and go back to Camp.
Boy, I'm not believing this possession arrow thing tonight. We never get possession arrows. Left side cross underneath Donald, out on the high post, spins, rolls off, goes left. And well, they're going to call a walk, I think.
Here comes in an entirely new team.
Well, you're right. Wave number 2 back in. Archie Grooms, B.J. Hughes, Devon Steverson, A.J. Stewart, and Jeremy Moore. And here's a steal by Stewart, and he'll take it all the way in reverse. Layup won't go. Archie Grooms had it batted away, gets his own rebound, pulls down at another rebound, and then has it slapped off his hands out of bounds. They'll give it out to StationCamp. Inbounds pass play to Brinkley. Brinkley, here's a left-hand layup on the left side, Colby Sweat. Sweat with the bucket for StationCamp. Steverson outside to Stewart. In the middle, Archie Grooms, turnaround 4-footer, partially blocked, and the rebound taken away by StationCamp. 32-15, off in the corner, gets it back. Here's the gun for 3 that won't go. StationCamp tries to save it and does in front. And here's Bates from beyond the 3-point arc. Won't go. Rebound underneath. Save, but to the Blue Devils. B.J. Hughes will come up with it. And Lebanon wants timeout. Coach Hutto don't like what he's seeing out of this second wave. 32-15, 4:40 to play first half. 30-second break here, and then we'll return. And you'll hear from her at halftime. Steverson to the left side to Stewart. To Hughes. Hughes looks for somebody. Powers it out to Grooms, and here's Steverson for an easier. Missed it. Grooms follows, no good. Rebound batted outside, and Camp comes up with it. StationCamp. Coons taking it all the way in, and a charging foul on Coons. B.J. Hughes had him, or Devon, well, I'll get that right in a moment. A.J. Stewart had him set up down there beautifully and took the charge. Stewart, not the biggest guy in the world, but he's definitely one of the fastest. Played the running back on that Blue Devil football team, and he can motor. And a blocking foul on the baseline.
Sweat.
Sweat is called for the foul.
That's his second.
B.J. Hughes will make the inbounds toss for Lebanon. Brings it outside to Stewart. Stewart over the timeline. Goes right to Steverson. Steverson to Stewart as they work it around the top of the key. Hughes on the left wing. Had it batted away. Stewart with a 3, and he got it. And I think that's his second of the ball game.
It is.
A.J. Stewart hits the 3, and the Blue Devils go up by 20. 35-15. Here comes StationCamp. Bates down low. And Brinkley with a shot, no good. Foul is good under there, and it'll count. And the foul is going to be on B.J. Hughes, I think. And going to the free throw line to try to complete a 3-point play is Cameron Kuntz. Kuntz eyes it, fires and misses, and Hughes comes off with a rebound. 35-17 Lebanon. Blocking foul going to be called on 0-0. That's Josh Jones across the way, front of the Lebanon bench.
It's a 5th foul on StationCamp. That ball got away from him, Clyde.
Hughes wasn't looking and barely saved that thing. Or not Hughes, A.J. Stewart wasn't looking. But it's off the hands of StationCamp out of bounds. Lebanon will put it in play. They get it to Steverson. Back to Stewart, to Hughes, to Moore. Jeremy Moore, double team, drops it off. Here's B.J. with a 15-footer high off the glass. It won't go. Rebound on the floor. Everybody fights for it. It's picked up by Steverson. Steverson, top of the key to Stewart. Stewart, Steverson on the wing on the right. Lebanon working to the basket to your left. Archie Grooms open from 8. Got it off the glass. 3:05 in the first half left on play. And here's Bates, left side. Lay-in is good. Nice play. Colby Sweat getting the bucket. 37-19.
If I've kept score right, that's his 4th point of the game, but can't count on me keeping score right.
Well, that's good. Archie Grooms turn around, 16-footer, and he knocked it down. Grooms with the last 2 buckets, and it's back to a 20-point lead, 39-19. On the dribble is Jones.
Over and back. No.
Lebanon relieves him with a basketball. Here's Jeremy Moore with a left-handed lay-in. It's good, and the foul going to be called on Jones. Jeremy Moore, who can really get up, went right over the top of Jones, laid it in with that left hand, and Jones was called for the foul. 2:29 to play, and here comes the third wave back in. And a face in there we hadn't seen before, Michael Crowell, a 6'4", 170-pound junior in the ball game, along with Christian. Hamrick is in there. Jeremy Moore stays. He's shooting a free throw. Moore's free throw is good. And a three-point play, but Jeremy Moore makes it a 42-19 ball game. And the other player in that ball game is Justin Johnson, the guard.
Through his legs.
Picked up by Johnson. Johnson, left side. Bryce Gillum in the corner. Here's Christian out of the corner for three. It won't go. Rebound off the hand of Crowell, and it's picked up by Bates. Bates with it out front, working against Johnson. Bates going to take it all the way down, kick it off in the corner. Can't get the shot away. Driving is Brinkley. His 14-foot jumper is good. Brinkley knocks it down. And it's 42-21. Gillum goes through a double team. Oh, good pass by Gillum. Backhanded pass to Crowell for an easy one underneath. Steele, Hamrick, layup, good. Well, the third wave here playing about as good as anybody tonight. They run it out to a 46-21 lead with 1:40 to play in the first half. Another timeout on the floor and another time in for one of our sponsors. The half. StationCamp inbounds pass play. Comes to Kuntz.
Nice steal. Just took it right
Lebanon with a steal. Johnson, left side to Christian. Christian back to Johnson around the top of the circle. Goes Hamrick on the right side. Johnson with a three. Won't go. Does go over the backboard and out of bounds. It'll belong to StationCamp in the backcourt. Bison will put it in play. Bates with it. Bates.
Stolen.
Here's a steal, but Christian going to let him. Oh, Christian. Oh. Christian gets mugged. That's a pretty good hit. He got hit from both sides. That was like a receiver going over the middle.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Clyde. Daniel Christian going to go to the line now. Getting applauded, too.
Daniel Christian is a 6', 165-pound junior. We'll have two shots coming. 46-21 Lebanon. Christian misses number one. We'll have another. Hamrick and Crowell and Christian, Gillum and Johnson in there right now for the Blue Devils. Short with this one.
Air ball.
Missed everything, and it'll belong to StationCamp. They'll bring it down. Lebanon will not go down and set up. They're pressuring full court the whole ball game. To Kuntz. Kuntz to the near side to Brinkley. A long pass. That goes into the Lebanon crowd across the way. You might say that was a little bit high.
That one almost went into the upper section.
Lebanon will work. Hamrick with it on the right wing. Takes it to the baseline. Can't get the shot away. Trying to get inside. Flips it off to Crowell. Crowell turn around. Jumper partially blocked. Rebound is pulled down. Underneath by Sweat. And kicked out to Brinkley. Brinkley to Bates.
Stolen? No. Tie up.
And a timeout going to be called by Lebanon.
No, there was a tie up.
Well, a tie ball or jump ball, evidently, instead of a timeout. I thought they'd gotten a timeout over there as he looked like he was falling out of bounds, but evidently they call a jump ball. We lose the possession arrow. StationCamp will have it. 46-21. Outside, they bring it to Bates. Bates. Here's Brinkley with a bank off the glass. It won't go. Rebound Johnson underneath. Kick out pass to Hamrick. Hamrick moving down in a hurry. Here's Gillum with a left-handed lay-in. That's good. 48-21. 21 seconds to play here in the opening half. And Ryan's second.